Welcome to this episode of the 94twenty podcast, where we talk about the music that we love and the industry that we tolerate.
Selfish, stupid, and rotten.
Everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 94twenty podcast. That was Microplanet with Painsucker. Hi, Carl and Greg. How are you both doing?
Ooh, I like that music.
I knew you would.
Yeah,
It sounds to me, it sounds like, I don't know, it reminds me of when I used to live in Boston in the 90s.
Yeah, it sounds like 90s pre-grunge, and to me,
like Smashing Pumpkins demos. And
to me, it sounds like Brian Wilson joined Nirvana for a couple of bedroom sessions. How cool! I love it. Actually,
talk about Nirvana. I've been reading that book. It's been out a while. That Dave Grohl bio.
Yeah.
What an interesting life this guy had. You know, he's like some young kid and then joins his famous punk band, the Scream, when he was 17.
Yeah.
And then like he he meets Iggy Pop at some gig, and then like Iggy Pop asked him to play drums for him, and because his drummer didn't show up, and then either the Nirvana guy, like they liked Scream, so their drummer quit, so they asked him, and then they went on. He's almost like the Ringo of Nirvana.
Yeah,
like right before he joined Nirvana, they weren't really happening, and then he joins, and they broke like Ringo did with the Beatles. That's weird.
If you believe that people go around many times, he must have had some really horrific past lives because this one's been pretty good. Yeah,
right. Now, and then he quits that ends in tragedy, and then he just picks himself up and does the Foo Fighters, and it's a cool book, but
a lot of that moolah. But yeah, I really like that. Now I'm assuming that this might be a singular person creating this under a band
No, I think
name.
it's a band.
It's a 25-piece orchestra.
No.
It's an alt-rock band.
No, I don't know. I think we'll see later. I think it's a guy and he has a couple of friends, but I think it's mainly a guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
I really, really like it. I dug it. I was into it.
Well, you hear that, Microplanet? Greg really digs it.
Yeah, there you go.
Nathan Wilson is the primary contact. So.
There's your badge.
Anyway.
Hey, I have something cool to start off with or to tell you guys about. So last night, yeah, I know we didn't discuss this earlier, so you always get nervous. But,
usually whatever Greg says, I just cut out. But go ahead.
Right. Last night, about 9 o'clock my time, I get this text come through.
You were abducted.
And right, yeah. And so the text, I'll read some of the text to you. Lauren and I, that's his wife, Lauren and I are cooking dinner and listening to the latest episode of 94twenty and loving it. The three of you have such great chemistry. And then he goes on to say, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'm truly digging what you and your colleagues are doing. It's a perfect size dose of new music, industry insight, and bullshit.
Everyone gets us.
All fed through funny and engaging personalities. Each of you has a very unique, fun voice.
We might be bullshit heavy.
Fantastic. No, I'm telling you, I was so thrilled to get this because this comes from a person. I've known him many, many years. He's a super accomplished entertainment lawyer in New York, and so I was actually, frankly, shocked that he listens to the podcast. And his wife is accomplished too. She was a member of New York Voices. Are you familiar with them? They were kind of a Grammy-nominated act that did unique vocal arrangements and jazz recordings, and she's super talented too. So the idea that they're listening to the podcast, that makes me happy. I thought y'all would be impressed by that.
What are the three things? Again, it's the mixture of what? The featured artist, the music,
the music
industry insight and bullshit.
The insight is Greg, and I think I'm the bullshit.
And I'm just the one who lines up the artists. So.
Right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
It's Rob and Lauren. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll keep it
Rob
going.
And Lauren.
We'll keep it going.
Someone finally gets us. It only took 166 episodes.
About bullshit. I don't know. I'm gonna probably get this all wrong. Maybe I don't have the story correctly, but it seems to me that Don Henley of the Eagles, when he wrote Hotel California, a bunch of pages or something, the lyrics and stuff, gave it to his manager or his manager friend or somebody, just gave the stuff away back 30 years ago, right? But then his friend, years later, I guess needed some money, so he sold it to some fan or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now the fan is taking it, is auctioning it off for the highest bidder. And then Don Henley now is suing that guy because he has no right to do that. And my feeling is this. Even if he had the right to do it, which I don't think he did, once you give something away, it's gone. But, Don, you're almost 80 years old. You're worth $200 million. Who cares?
Oh, man.
He's in court. He's been in court for 2 days.
He cares.
Who cares?
It says here that Don Henley attempts to reclaim stolen Eagles lyrics to Hotel California was thwarted by defendants, prosecution says. That was on the 22nd. So,
But I heard that he gave it away. And the guy's claiming that Glenn Fry gave it to him, and Glenn Fry's dead. So how are you going to figure it out?
He has a reputation in the industry. He has a reputation for being one of the most difficult and grasping kind of business people out there, and
He made some great songs.
he'll probably
great...
sue me for saying that, but I think that's the reputation.
Don, you're like
Chill,
almost
Don.
80. Chill out. Take your money. Have a great rest of
You're
your
an
whatever
icon,
you're doing.
baby. Chill.
Even probably McCartney would let it go.
I don't know what the intellectual property associated with written lyrics is. I don't know if it's an artifact or if it's actually that's the original version of him or of him writing that lyric.
I don't get that mentality, man.
I don't know.
I don't
know
get
anything about it.
the mentality of people who there's a misprint on an Abbey Road pressing, so it's worth $88,000 as opposed to it doesn't have this one album doesn't have Her Majesty on it, the first pressing, so that's worth. Who are these idiots that waste? There's people. It's funny. I'm reading this book again. With Dave Grohl. It talks about Nirvana, Kurt Cobain's first guitar, this cheap Fender Mustang piece of crap worth $180, right? Auctioned for $6 million.
Yeah.
Like there are people starving. Who the hell has $6 million to waste on a piece of crap because some rock star moron, held it 20 years ago? It's stupid.
Yeah, that's that whole artifact mentality.
I don't get it.
Right?
It's just a piece of wood.
They built a restaurant and a bar on that with the
Honus Wagner's baseball card is worth $3 million. It's a baseball card. Come on. What's wrong with the world? We're so backwards. I'm sorry.
So you don't believe
that.
So you don't believe that inanimate objects carry a certain vibe or power with them? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
It's. Okay. I was never my axe. It's a guitar. Yeah. I think I told this story already where it was David Letterman years ago. Valerie Bertinelli was on David Letterman, right? When she was married to Eddie Van Halen.
Right.
So David goes, so how's Eddie doing? And she goes, he's doing good. He's backstage. She goes, oh, really? Would he come out? He goes, I don't care. So she goes, Eddie, you want to come out? So he comes out. And he sits down and he goes, you want to play a song with the band? And he goes, all right. So he goes up to the band, and the guy hands him his Strat, a Strat and a Marshall, no boxes. You could see it was just no boxes. It was like a cord that went right into the amp. You had nothing going on, and you're thinking, how's he going to get his sound right?
Right.
So the guy goes. I see Eddie go up to the Marshall, starts fooling around with the whatever he's doing. He goes, okay, let's start Panama. He starts playing the beginning of Panama. It sounds like Panama. So what I realized. It's in his fingers.
Right.
How he plays is in his hands. It's not in the box. It's not. So there's nothing in these. Are just
I've heard
tools.
the same thing about. I've heard the same thing about Hendrix. Where people were always trying to hack what he was doing with the backside of the Stratocaster and everything. And it's like it's his playing.
It's just how he is. Right. He's just sitting there. So it's in you, man. I don't know. I was never a collector mentality. I don't get it. How stupid things that were worth $7. Though I wish. I'll tell you one last story. This is gonna be babbling today. So years ago, I was in high school, right? And my friend's big brother, Lennon, did this thing called Bag One. I think I told you the story already.
Yeah.
He did Bag One. He did these 16 lithographs and put them in a leather bag. He made 300 of them and sold them for $1,000 back in 1970, right? To raise money for something, right?
Wow.
So my friend's brother, who at the time was 18, bought one. But a year later, he needed money to go to college.
Yeah.
He was going to sell for $600. I said, Mom, I didn't have any money. I was like, in a freshman in high school. She goes, Mom, can I borrow $600? He goes, for what? I go, I want to borrow this John Lennon. She goes, get out of here. I'm not letting you.
I'm sure that went over well.
It was like these pornographic lithographs he was writing, with Yoko and stuff. So anyway, I'm not lending you $600 for that. So I go, forget it. So anyway, so that's like 71, 72. Jump 10 years later, 82. I'm walking in the Village, right? I walk past a lithograph shop. I walk inside. I see one of those lithographs from the series.
Yeah.
$4,500. I go,
God.
So I go to the guy. He goes, let me ask, what would that be worth? Well, he goes, if you had the whole series and the bag, and this is back in 82, I'd say it'd be worth, I don't know, $340,000, $350,000. Oh! I go to my mom. I said, Mom, $600 I want to borrow. It would have worth.
Thankfully, she was still alive, so you could berate her.
I told you. Remember that $600 you wouldn't let me. So anyway, now who knows what it's worth? It might be worth more or less, but still. But so I
think
guess
I
there
have
is that collector mentality. I just never had it.
I
never
think
got
I
it.
have a collector mentality, but it's at a like a microscopic scale. I mean, I love picking up a tiki mug for $4 that somebody is selling on eBay for $30. You know, I mean, that's what I like. You know.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be one of those guys who goes to a flea market and buys like a $9 painting and then scratches it off underneath as a Renoir.
The U.S. Constitution. Yeah, a copy of the
anyway,
Bill
so
of Rights or something.
Enough of my nonsense. What do you have to talk about, Nicole? Who's still with us?
Well, I mean, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm just listening to you guys ramble. Again, my job was to bring the artists.
As your
Well,
friend
we've
Rob would
covered
say,
the bull.
here's the bullshit section. Okay.
We've covered the bullshit.
I guess we'll move on to the industry insights because there's been a couple things happening this week. One, starting with Cyndi Lauper sold her catalog. So another artist, I guess, bites the dust or reaps the rewards of their hard work. So
Yeah, but to me, like, I don't think of Cyndi Lauper as someone with a catalog. She even write half those songs. You know,
I think she did. She wrote
no, the
Girls
guy
Just
from
Want to Have One.
that band wrote, True Colors, and what was that band? There was some band from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania that used to wrote all those tunes. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what was the band she used to be in.
Flyer, I used to play with her.
Yeah.
Back in Long Island. We did sets at the OBI East.
I do think that
very interesting.
I do think that she at
Long
least
Island
co-wrote some of those big hits.
Well, she did co-write some of them, but I don't think she had enough to sell a catalog. But then I guess if just
catalog and master recordings, not just the catalog.
I can see the master
Now,
recordings.
but so she probably doesn't own that stuff that was on CBS, right?
Yeah, but the label
she
would have to
re-recorded, I guess. Right. Yeah, I don't know. This speculation on these catalogs that's gone on the last 5 years. I mean, I don't know. It's totally dependent upon the survival of the performing rights organizations and the kind of the industry at large, because if it keeps generating income, then it's a good investment.
It's funny about that same thing. Howard, Billy Joel, because of his new song, was on Howard Stern the other day talking about that. And Howard Stern asked him that. He says, "Would everyone selling their catalogs? Would you consider selling your catalogs?" He goes, "Well, not really. They're kind of like my kids. I don't know." But he goes, "Well, is there a price?" Well, we could start at $1 billion, he said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, someone like him, like to me, Paul McCartney could probably go for $3 billion. I'll go $3 billion. Right?
Yeah.
Right? If Springsteen can go for $600 million, I think McCartney can easily get $2 billion.
I think I've said it before. I mean, there's an annuity value to these copyrights, but I remember, many years ago looking at the performing rights aspect of the Beatles catalogs, and it was not shocking. I mean, it was actually shocking in so much as it wasn't delivering as big a punch as you might think. I mean,
today they're kind of like,
it was in the tens of millions of dollars.
They're kind of like NFTs.
Yeah, it would take you a long time to make back your $3 billion investment. So.
Who's going to sell their catalog? Like who's offering their catalog? Like the Knack.
Right.
The next, my Sharona catalog.
Yeah. Well, we used to call it cherry picking, or we would say, what songs?
Tom Petty's got a catalog. Tom Petty.
That's an amazing catalog, actually, and we would actually say, who's got marquee value if you acquired the copyright or at least the rights to, I'd say 50 songs that are in popular culture. You could make a pretty penny for yourself over the course of
how much money is enough money?
Exactly.
Go take your money, Don. Go live. You're rich beyond compare. You're so accomplished in your field. Now go have a good rest of your life. What are you wasting your time in court now over some scribblings on a piece of paper? Who cares? Hey,
man, I'm with you.
Anyway, you want to play some more music from this guy?
Well, I had more things to talk about.
Oh, we're still talking? Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, because there's been a lot going on in the music industry this week besides Cyndi Lauper.
There is no music industry, but go ahead.
The last thing I wanted to bring up is UMG has been in the news probably the last few days, not for necessarily the best stuff. One, the first thing that they were in the news for is they have confirmed that they are going to be reducing their headcount, and they'll be doing layoffs this quarter to help make their profit better. I guess there's a whole restructuring and redesign going on. So that's not necessarily the greatest for people to hear, especially because it's probably within the hundreds, if not thousands, that are going to be laid off. And on top of that, their feud or lack of contract with TikTok is about to get even, I guess it's going to fuel more fire, because not just Universal Music Group, but Universal Publishing Group, I believe, is also not re-signing because the deadline is tomorrow, March 1st.
Which means all the underlying copyrights doesn't have anything to do with the artist,
people
right?
who could be signed with Sony, who have singles coming out. I think they said it's going to be like 7 million songs are going to be off that platform as of tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of get anarchy. You know, I can see why, like, regular people hearing all this nonsense would say, like blow up the machine. I get it. I don't want to hurt anyone. No one should be hurt, no personally, but we should blow up stuff. I wish someone would invent a bug that you just sent into the internet and blows up the internet, melts it like, and it's one dead melted nothing. I'd love it. I would love it. Like I had my eyes checked today, right? Everything was a machine. You know, I said to the guy, "What'd you do before those machines? Do you do anything?" He's like pushing buttons and, like, you know, and everything's computerized and, like, you know, what are you doing? You just gotta work the machine. I'll do it at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, press a button.
Pretty much. It's like stupid. I don't know, man. Technology. So what else? Any more industry news, Nicole?
Those are the two things I wanted to bring to the table this week. So
yeah, you just try to piss us off.
I do. I love to try and dig through the news and be like, what's going to piss off Carl and Greg the most?
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a movie about the music industry.
Yep. There's our insight. Our insight is we're calling for anarchy.
Yes. All right, everyone, we have another single by Microplanet called Underneath. And before that, you can hear from our sponsor this week, which is us, the 9420 podcast.
Yay!
This episode is sponsored by the 9420 podcast. That's right, we are sponsoring ourselves this week and encouraging you all to listen to the over 100 episodes we currently have in our rotation. Each episode features a new independent music artist who's looking to make it in this industry. For more information, you can go to our website, which is 94twenty.com. That is, the number is 94 and the letters TWENTY.
think that's an old James Taylor tune, right?
I like it. I think it's cool. I'm looking forward to hearing what they had to say. Did they actually do our interview?
They did.
They answered a couple of questions.
Yeah, they
Excellent.
answered our questions of the week. So the first question we asked them is to tell us a little bit about themselves.
Hey, this is Microplanet. My name is Nathan Wilson. I'm a solo singer-songwriter currently on tour with my band. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised, but have been working out of San Diego for the last 4 years playing shows and promoting my music. I started playing music when I was very young, first with piano and then eventually guitar. I got really into punk music and then eventually found other types of rock, like grunge and shoegaze. Finding hip-hop and electronica had a big impact on my musical tastes and also influenced my guitar style by using effects to incorporate sound design in rock music. My time in college, I studied audio engineering, and that further helped me develop my style. I released my debut in July 2023 called Submerge, and it's available on all streaming platforms. I'm also out on tour on a few dates across the Midwest and East Coast. You can find out more at microplanetmusic.com.
So he's doing all the right things.
He's marketing. Yeah, that sounds good.
So he's a solo singer-songwriter on tour with his band?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe
so
his band is
Microplanet is his band, and he is a solo singer.
It kind of had that vibe. But it's
Was there a bass player? It sounded like it was just a guitar and a drum. I don't even know.
It's difficult to hear through.
You know what I loved about it too? I love, and I don't mean anything insulting about this. I hope it isn't taken the wrong way, but I love that on some of the things they were just going for it. Like the singing, the harmonies, and they really didn't cut it, but they were going for it, and it was there.
Yeah,
even though
that's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, the abandoned.
Right, the abandoned, just like, take a harmony here, and I heard they were going for it, and they weren't fully cutting it, but it was so authentic that I liked it. You know,
that's always a punk sensibility inside these grungy things, and
just
it's like,
do it.
It's the real deal. It's
I hate to say it.
It sounds indie to me.
I am the anti-grunge. I'm a little too tuned. I like to be tuned. I like to be. I don't know. I'm authentic in my neatness.
Yeah. Well, I just recently. Are you familiar with the term Baroque pop? So
Baroque pop, no.
Baroque pop. So it's kind of a genre unto itself, and it comes. Most of the bands come out of the UK. It's kind of the kinder, gentler, more easy listening pop sensibility of British invasion stuff. And I discovered through listening to a few playlists on Spotify, I discovered that I like it because there's melody, because there's a ton of strings
Right.
I just like it because it's
more
easy to listen to.
I'm more like OCD folk.
Instead of Baroque pop. Yeah, I'm
OCD country.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway.
Elizabethan,
So we keep asking these people things. We have something else?
We do. We asked them what music artists have inspired your career so far.
Okay.
Probably no Baroque pop in there.
I mostly take direct inspiration from 90s alternative rock bands, such as Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, Radiohead, Duster, and My Bloody Valentine. I was always mesmerized by the walls of sound these artists were able to achieve, and I'm constantly on the hunt to creating my own. I've also been heavily inspired by solo artists who record and produce their own music at home, like Sparkle Horse and Elliott Smith. There's a level of intimacy that comes with creating like that, and I always admired their range of high and low fidelity production methods.
I'll tell you, I love Elliott Smith, man.
Yep.
I loved, that Good Will Hunting.
You were on that
soundtrack.
from the beginning, man.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
And you know what's great? I remember that what was so great about him too. He is such some L.A. underground. I don't know how they I guess Ben Affleck or Gus Van Sant or Matt Damon. Someone must have dug him and put him all over that soundtrack for Good Will Hunting because he was just some unknown guy, right?
Yep.
So, but he was up for an Oscar that year. I remember that year it was Celine Dion for the Titanic movie. It was Madonna for something, some other big artist, and then him. And this time at the end, for some reason, this season or this time, this Oscars, they had all four go up together. So you see Madonna, Celine Dion, and somebody else, and then this guy.
His little singer-songwriter.
Right, like,
butt
you know,
up
and
there.
you could tell he was so out of place with Madonna and Celine Dion. Like, it's just amazing watching them up there, like,
Yeah.
you know. But he,
Unfortunately, it's part of his zeitgeist, right? Because he felt out of place in the world.
yeah, Between the Bars, man, is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
I just love the way just that low, it's just acoustic. It's just.
I remember when that was happening, you were like, man, have you heard this? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was living in Boston too at the time. I remember, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I felt it. I felt that. Anyway, yeah, this guy's cool. You know, like it's amazing how people still doing this stuff, man.
It's right, and you know, and they're going to continue to do it. I recently read something, 9,000 releases a
Oh,
day.
stop with your numbers. Who cares?
9,000
Who makes
releases.
Especially because
Today.
earlier in the episode, you both were calling for anarchy. So
I'm gonna start. You know what? I'm gonna start making up numbers. I read. You know, I read. You know, I'm just gonna lying. These are like our facts. I heard there are 75 million new artists a day up on Spotify.
Well,
you know?
it used to be 9,000 releases
No,
a year.
it's
Now it's
45
9,000 a
million.
day.
There's 45 million new artists
Yep.
a day. I heard
Yep.
that every
Yep.
day they sell about 10,000 acoustic guitars every day in Nashville. You know?
Average bank balance $61.
Oh yeah, I saw this. I saw this funny meme, man, of this guy walking in his backyard. He goes, "Hi, I'm a musician. I travel 200 miles, to play a gig for 20 minutes and don't even make enough to pay for my gas. Hi, I'm a musician. I spent 2 years, and thousands of dollars, creating an album that only 11 people are going to hear."
Exactly. It just keeps
Gotta-
going on and on and on.
gotta
on
love
and on.
TikTok for that.
But it's
that's
true,
the latest.
like,
No, I know, but that's like the latest trend that's going around.
And they buy new guitars like me. I'm not even playing anymore. I have 3 new guitars. I'm a sucker. I just loved it. Well, that looks good. I still like looking through guitar catalogs or online. That's a deal. Let me get that. God, man, what's wrong with us?
I got that text last night, and then a couple of days ago, I got an email, and it was that there was nothing in the text of the email. It was just a picture that somebody had emailed me, and it was a person holding an album cover. They just shot a picture of it. This is, to say, just checking in. This is what I'm listening to currently. I love that mentality that we all can just be immersed in all of this, and as old as I get, I'm still turned on by it, right?
Yeah, that is true. I have to admit, there's nothing like a great song.
Right.
I still love, I hear a new song, I go, wow. And to me, all kidding aside, I think music is the best thing in the world.
Man,
I think, it's everything.
It's universal. It's
Right.
healing. It's energizing. Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary.
It's
pretty
the best thing.
extraordinary.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's magical, actually.
It is. It is.
Listen to
indeed.
me. All right, so now we'll end our bullshit section. Go
We'll
ahead.
end the bullshit segment and we'll go to more songs for people because that's really
The
what they want
feature
out
section,
of us.
right?
Yes,
We like Nathan and Microplanet, so
we
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
wish him all
Keep
the best.
rocking. Keep rocking.
Keep rocking. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the 9420 podcast. Make sure you listen all the way through because we have one more song from Microplanet called Autodrift. For everything we spoke about in this episode, you can go to our website, which is 94twenty.com. That is the numbers 94 and the letters TWENTY. Until next time, we'll talk to y'all later.
Wonder if I'll ever surface to ground. just solder all the circuits to bound. No trace, no life, nothing was here. Could this be